All right, man. What up? Welcome back to Agree to Disagree. And if you're new, welcome to Agree to Disagree. My boy Jay Lloyd, Craig, DD, and we got Pops. All right, man. Let's move on. Let's get deeper into it, man. Let's start talking about LA teams. As we all know, Clippers broke my heart. So we're gonna get this out the way, quick and painless too. Everybody got 10 seconds. That's it. And we moving on quick.
Oh, we ain't moving.
We moving on quick. All right. Let's start with this one. All right. Kawhi must win a championship with the Clippers to restore his legacy.
Now, let me find my other yes too, man.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Let's go.
Start us off, Jay.
I mean, he got to, man. You know what? You family, but you've been talking way too much about this dude being the best player in the world. You cannot be the best player in the world and not get that. You got to get that, man. You got to get that. And this year, they didn't perform. But at the end of the day, I feel like we all are in the moment. Like, I can think of the Lakers. They lost to the Rockets a couple years in Magic's prime. All the great players have lost and had bad years where they've lost against teams they should not have lost to. I just think right now with social media and the way it's a bigger thing than it used to be. Mm-hmm. But no, he should have lost the series. But I don't feel like they're dead in the water. I feel like they'll come back and they'll still be a good team, man. I think playoff P has to be better, man. Playoff P got to be better. He's got to have a Pippen. He's got to learn how to lead. You know, you realize that, and I let the guys go. Seeing them lose that series, y'all, let me know how important Kyle Lowry was. Mm-hmm. Because Kyle Lowry was what Kawhi isn't. He's vocal. He's physical. He's aggressive. He'll get into you. And it played off of who Kawhi was. But Kyle Lowry was still cool enough to be, I'm not you, bro. You're the man. But I can come in and fill in the spots that you can't. And I feel like them dudes at the Clippers, he has nobody that can fill in them gaps for him right now. And I think low-key PG feels like he's that. I do. I think there's moments PG feels like he's that guy. I see that same little ego when they play, like, I'm just as good as you. Rather than, like, if we trying to win, Wade had to take a step back to Brian. Like, we trying to win, somebody got to take a step back.
Yeah. And, Jay, just to kind of dig deeper into what you're saying, do you think all right. So we can agree that he went to the Clippers because he knew they haven't won, and he knows if he wins, that levels up his legacy. Winning with three different organizations and winning with a team that never got past the second round. So he has to win because that's why you went
there. Yeah, same thing with the Lakers. I think LeBron knows, he's lost way more than he's won. But if he can get the Lakers, the LA Lakers, the championship, that just hits way different to his legacy winning with the Lakers. So he knew that going in. He knew what it was.
Go ahead, Craig.
All right, where do I start? First of all, I totally agree with Jay and I'm going to take it to another level about his teammate when it came to Kyle Lowry. It kind of supports my argument for, Giannis leaving Milwaukee. If you're in a good situation and you leave, this is what could happen. And I feel like he kind of shot himself in the foot. It backfired. People will talk about KD for leaving and going to a better situation. At least he left and won versus leaving and going to a good team and, and losing.
But the difference is, you keep saying that, but I feel like it's different because he won and then he left and lost. As if KD and Giannis, they lost and then they're leaving.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he left, to me, a better situation and a better team than the one he went to, with a better complementary piece that had a leadership quality he did not have. Now, that's the question I was going to ask you. Did he leave because he wanted to be the man to go to the Clippers, or did he leave because he wanted to lean on playoff P?
I think. Were you asking me that?
Well, I'm just saying in general. That's when something I said in the chat earlier. That's the question that I had. I think he thought it would be easier to win and more rewarding to win for his legacy in LA. But like I said, you got a fine girl at home. Why you need another? Why how you gonna find a better one? And that's what he did. And what happened now? He put more pressure on himself, and it shows that his Robin wasn't who he thought he was.
I think not to say that I don't really think he was like, oh well, I'm gonna just take playoff P over Siakam and Lowry. I think the legacy part plays a big part too, especially being from LA. He's from LA too. I think that played a part. I don't think it was just I'm gonna go to the Clippers because they never won, which I think that was a big thing too. But the fact that he's from LA kind of plays into that part too. But
Right.
everything else, I agree with you. Toronto was definitely a better fit and chemistry team, but why else leave unless you're trying to, one, go play for your hometown and solidify your legacy?
And I do my best to be, even though I'm a Lakers homer, I do my best to be partial, give everybody, and be fair. Also, we can't leave out the nugget that he did get criticism by winning a championship with the Wounded Warriors. You know what I'm saying? So he might have thought, okay, next year I need to be on a better team, and that's the chance he took. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that. And I think people have to, I'm just throwing it out there to be fair. I'm not going to crack on. I think he's a similar leader like Giannis. He does more, work, lead by example than being that vocal leader, or just have the natural essence of a leader that you're going to automatically do what he does. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to throw that out there just to be fair.
Fair point. Go ahead, Pops.
Man, y'all tripping. Y'all don't stop this. Look, Kawhi Leonard has to win a championship now in LA. It's no different when LeBron James came to the Lakers. He has to win a championship. Now, here's the thing. Kawhi was the stuff they was offering this dude in Toronto. Look, man, you ain't got to play there for a few months. I know it's cold. Get that and come on to the house. But the thing, I really think, because the Lakers, we saw it. The Lakers strategically freed up that money for him. Freed it up for him. They freed up all that. But I think when the media starts saying, oh, man, they got LeBron and AD. If they get Kawhi, it's not going to be fair. He shouldn't do this. Nobody's going to beat him. Everybody start crying. So I'm going to go to the Clippers. And think about, what about this? Think about what he said. I only came here after talking with who? Doc Rivers. The only reason Doc Rivers did not get fired, because they know if they fire Doc Rivers, Kawhi and PG are out. They're gone. But then what does he tell the Clippers? Go get me Paul George. Now, that happens. It didn't pan out. But basically, now who's all the pressure on? It's on Kawhi. Now, the Clippers have came out and said, we're keeping Doc. Kawhi says, oh, no, we're going to stand pat. PG, we're going to stand pat. If the Lakers win the championship this year, how much pressure do you think that's going to put on Kawhi next season? That's going to put more pressure on them. More. And then they still got to worry about how, because we're so overspent, we done gave up all these draft picks to 2027. And so now how are we going to build this? And he just, man, he has to. Because his legacy, it took a hit. It took a hit because of we all know the situation about Toronto. And then what did we all say when we were watching the playoff? We didn't know what was going on, but man, we all said something's going on with the Clippers. And we didn't even know what it was. We like, man, something going on because they tripping. We like, man, Clippers tripping. And then when it comes out, oh, that y'all had a lot of beef going on in there. And it wasn't about cats and shit, cats coming back late. Oh, so which tells me the Trez and PG and Lemon Pepper Lou, cats wasn't too happy about that. But nobody was vocal. So Kawhi got to win it. He has to. He has to.
Go ahead, B.
Yeah, I mean, everybody could agree he has to win. You know, like it's. I mean, him even if they lost to the Lakers in the final or in the conference finals, you still would have to win. But I mean, you guys always get on me about getting on LeBron and not really being objective. But if LeBron would have had that happen to him, we would all been all over him. I'm not saying that Kawhi is a LeBron, but he's obviously always been, you know, competing or been 1 and 2 with him, so to speak. So it to me is the performance he had. If LeBron goes down and he has a performance he has, we're not just going to look like, oh, well, playoff P or Anthony Davis didn't do his thing. We're going to look at, well, LeBron, you're the man. You know, like you guys combined for 10 for 38. So like I don't agree with what Jared said to the point of where, like, you know, does not blow it out of proportion. We got to get on them. Like I said, I'm not comparing him to LeBron. I think LeBron, when everything's said and done and he wins here with the Lakers, he's going to have, you know, one of the greatest careers to ever have, if not the greatest. But it's still, we have to get on them. You came here, you were the man. You were in Toronto, you won last year. Like you guys talked about it, you got to defeat the defending champions. He's a defending champ in his own self. Like we can't just be like, oh no, it's cool. Like I think we have to get on him. Obviously he has to win, but I think if he gets one, I don't think you'll still forget that though. I still think you're always going to look and remember that time in that first year because everybody wanted a Lakers Clippers. You don't know if that's going to happen. Like LeBron only has 2 more years. Once he's done, what's going to happen? Like, are we ever going to get that Lakers Clippers, you know, real rivalry that we would have had with LeBron here? So,
I agree. I think every player has, like they said, a bad playoff to where you would think they wouldn't forget, but people kind of do. Like I forget about Cole blowing the 3-1 lead all the time.
True.
But John, did he have a bad playoff, or I think you said in one episode, or did he get tired from? I think he played him a long time.
Who?
Kawhi.
He was proving us. Yeah.
He might have just I mean, everybody stand. We can say he had a bad playoff, but did he really have a bad one? Or did he just run out of gas?
He had a bad playoff.
Yeah, bad playoff. Okay.
But the whole summer team was tired. Remember you saying that, John? They were all tired.
Yeah.
And then it came. Then it don't even matter now, man.
I mean, no, but also too, you know, here's the thing. And this,
Okay.
real quick. I know we're short time, but like Pop said, that one day we said who has more pressure, and he said we're letting Kawhi off the hook. I agree with what he's saying. I said that when we were chatting before, and I was talking about we already know the LeBron thing, so I'm not going to talk about that. We're talking about Harden. I said Harden because he didn't have the pressure was on him. He was under the bright lights, and he didn't deliver. And now I understand that he made that decision to leave a good team to go to beat a man in LA, and that's why Pops was right about the pressure he had. He put on himself, really. I mean I don't
like they like we bring that up like we said, Kawhi, you have no pressure. I think we get caught on that topic so much because we said someone has more pressure than the other person, and it makes it like we're making it seem like we said Kawhi doesn't have any pressure. I don't think that was ever the case. I only said LeBron had pressure because of the timing. That's it. Because he's getting older and he was chasing. We all know who he's chasing. So that's the only reason I said he had more pressure. I never said Kawhi didn't have pressure. Obviously he had pressure. But same thing with James Harden. Never said he didn't have pressure. But we just keep.
But what you can't ignore, when you give other superstars more heat than others, the other ones got to be able to take the same heat, especially when other ones get 100 times more heat. So when you
I agree with what you're saying too, Craig. But again, this goes back to what we talked about. What tier is Kawhi in? If we're putting him with LeBron, then yeah, let's ride him. Like BG said,
right.
If he's in LeBron's conversation, then yes, he's a failure. He's a fraud. If he's in for real.
I ain't trying to go that hard on it.
No, he's right though. You're right. You're right.
That's how you treat LeBron when he loses.
That's what I was saying. That's why I said it. If we're gonna treat LeBron how I treat him, I'm gonna treat Kawhi because I know people be on me like, bro, you just be hating for no reason.
No,
I'm letting it be known.
I only said that because we kept the phrase of letting off the hook keep coming up, and I'm like, bro,
Oh,
no one said.
There's levels, though.
I still agree. LeBron had more pressure, like because
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we're
it's
letting
still
him off the hook.
Lakers and Clippers. Yeah,
Let's
I'm
move
just
on,
saying there's
man.
levels, though. Like, there's superstar levels. Like, if we talking about Harden, if we talking about Charles Barkley, we talking about like there's tiers. Where,
He's there with LeBron. It's
okay,
LeBron,
if he was
KD.
LeBron, then
Yeah.
he's
I
failure,
don't think
bro.
anyone else is there though. LeBron,
failure.
KD, Kawhi.
you know. You know
Yeah,
what I think makes it worse too is it's like the whole with Jared Dudley. I don't know if you guys saw what he tweeted that we shouldn't come back right away and start playing because it takes time for your knees and your legs to get under you, whatever. And then Patrick Beverly tweeted him back like we don't care about none of that check ball. Like they were out here clowning like they already ran LA like they were doing something. You know what I mean? And yeah, and he's the main guy, so it's like you're gonna go after the head. He's the head. Like
That's just like when LeBron and D Wade didn't take Dirk serious,
and he tore him up.
That's a bad series. That's one. That's one right there. That's one.
So I'm saying you don't forget that one. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like you're not gonna forget him losing because I think it's the bubble too. So it's like the pandemic year. Like everybody wanted Lakers, Clippers. Like
all right, man. Enough bashing the Clippers, bro. Let's switch topics, bro. Let's go talk about Showtime Lakers. All right, I got a Laker one for you. The Lakers are more dangerous with Rondo being that third guy. Why no, BG?
I mean, I've said it all along. I always thought the Lakers needed somebody else. Rondo's a heck of a player. Obviously, what he does in the playoffs is great, but it's like even yesterday, where obviously game 2 was yesterday. Some of the subs that Vogel does to me are like I don't see it. Like you take LeBron out, I get it for like a quick 2 minutes, then you throw him back in there the last 5 minutes. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's going to be that big. Not end of the game situations, but that big of if they take away LeBron and they take away AD, are we really going to trust in Rondo? Are we really going to give him the ball? He's going to make the right play, but then that right play is going to be given to a shooter. You know what I mean? Like I just don't. I think they needed somebody else, and I'm gonna stick with it. I think they've been playing great. I may be wrong, Pops. I know you're not agreeing with me, but I just don't see him as our third option. As our third option, I don't see it.
When I say I said that third guy, meaning I didn't say option. I didn't say we run a play for him. Just when he's their third best player, they're better. They're more dangerous because I think he allows LeBron James to get a little more rest. I think he kind of takes a load off LeBron. If you think about it, besides AD and LeBron, Kuz a little bit that can consistently make their own, like create their own shot and create something for someone else. Everyone else is like a catch and shoot or a roll and lob. So I think he takes a lot of pressure off LeBron. It's just my take on it. Go ahead, Pops.
I get what you guys saying about that third wheel, but he's that. The Lakers' second unit, all of them look totally different when he's on that floor. The game picks up. He knows how to get Anthony Davis going. He knows how to get the guys in the right spot. What makes him more dangerous, if he's hitting anything of a shot, that makes it work. Because Rondo can always get to the basket. For somebody that not known as a shooter, he can always get to the basket. That's just weird to me. He got the herky-jerky and he can get there. But by it being the playoffs, he knows how to tell guys like, hey, man, you're doing too much. I give a prime example. Before this aired, Anthony Davis hit a big shot. But do y'all know that Rondo went to the coach and said, don't you think you need somebody to go in there and pass the ball? Boom! He was Bro, Henry was terrified. He was like, oh, yeah, because he knew, like, he's going to make, he's going to make a play. Even when he's making plays, man, Kuzma, all them dudes, they're getting open looks because he knows how to get them guys going. And
he got Dwight Howard alive. He's a big reason why Dwight Howard is playing the way he's playing, man.
Exactly, because he's going to get the ball. He can get the ball to everybody. Now, it's on you to hit the shot, but he's going to get you. And if he's hitting, let's say, 35 or 40% of the shots, that makes the Lakers dangerous. And he's picking up full court.
Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, I agree. The most important thing is it allows LeBron to get more rest, and he can still facilitate the offense. Secondly, it's the leadership. I mean, after that, and I'm big on leadership, especially in sports. After that game, they interviewed him, and he was just, hey, man, he fully bought into the Lakers system. And I definitely think they needed another player. Just think about the series against Portland. They had him playing D. It would help out a lot, picking up, a smaller guard. And also, too, he said, look, man, he said, we all root for each other. He said, when I'm in, I'm rooting for AC. When I'm out, I'm rooting for AC Fresh when he's in, and vice versa. So he just brings that leadership to the team. And also, too, all the lobs he's throwing, you didn't see as many lobs until he got back with the team. Mm-hmm. And now the bigs, they're hungry. Yeah. And it's crazy, though. One thing we're not talking about, after the Lakers played Houston, they started picking up the pace more and started playing that style of basketball. And that with LeBron, with Rondo on the court, they play even faster. So I just think it makes it more dangerous. And like Pop said, he plays D. And if he can knock down a shot, then he's absolutely right. It gives him another weapon to hit from the outside.
Go ahead, Jay.
Everything y'all saying is spot on. The one thing that we haven't said yet, which I feel is the most important element, is experience. The Lakers are going to win because in close games, they have enough guys who are experienced in those situations, who are comfortable. You can look at the teams that are left. The Nuggets are gamers, but they ain't got no experience in this situation. So it's going to affect them. You look at the Heat. They're great. They're dogs. Don't have no experience in those situations. Boston, no experience in those situations. The Lakers have 2 champions on their team who played huge parts in those championships that both teams won. And I think that's a huge, huge thing. Rondo making that pass to a novice would be like, well, he just passed the ball. But anybody else would have got nervous. They would have forced the ball to LeBron. Let's say that. Whoever else took that ball out would not have passed AD that ball. They were throwing the ball to LeBron, and I feel like they would have been afraid to not throw LeBron the ball because LeBron would have got mad if AD didn't make that shot. Rondo's the only dude that LeBron plays with that he just understands. If Rondo makes this play, I'm going to rock with it. And that's why AD got that ball. Anybody else would not have thrown AD that ball. Even with him being open, I feel like they would have forced LeBron the ball. And that, to me, is a difference between a championship team. Like, am I going to be willing to make this big play regardless and not think about the superstars of the team per se or none of that? The other guys, they're in the moment. Caruso, they're going to make big plays first, second, third quarter. That fourth quarter, they ain't as comfortable, man. And he comfortable. You can put him in there.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know what else? I mean, to give a piggyback, watching this series and just watching the games, you know who Rondo kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of when Jason Kidd was playing with Dallas. Just running the show, but every now and then Jason Kidd would hit him or do something and you forget, like, I forgot he could pass the ball like that. And that's like you forget, like, dude, this dude's been a point guard all his life, a true point guard. And then he hit a couple of threes, you go like, wow. And he's not a three-point shooter, but he knows exactly when to kind of shoot it. You know, because Kenny Smith said something, and not to plug their show, but Kenny Smith on TNT said something very important. Why is it that all the 30-plus guys are outrunning the guys that are in their 20s?
Yeah.
That just shouldn't happen, man. Shouldn't happen.
All right. And another thing too, that's another one people forget about too. I'm saying you because I know how we are about Cole, but I'm saying they blew that
Oh, they
floor.
got swept.
Sweat.
Yeah, they got
That
swept,
was a bad one.
And the
I
worst was
forgot
buying
about
them tackle. Yeah, buying them tackle Barry.
Real.
Like, come on.
Clothesline.
Even Cole looked at him like, dude, yeah, like, what are you doing, man? I know, I remember those.